Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to JSX Gaming, where today we have a special little video about each of our top 5 Halloween movies to watch throughout the Halloween season. Both of us are big horror buffs, we love horror, we love Halloween, so we thought it would be a good idea to share some of our favorite movies with you guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what your favorite horror movies are down in the comments. Yeah, so let's just start off. What's your absolute favorite movie to watch on Halloween?
I don't know if I have a favorite. I just have movies that I tend to watch. All my movies are older.
Yeah.
Not classics, but older.
Childhood movies.
Yeah, that I just every year, come October, it seems to be a prerequisite that I have to watch these, regardless of what it is. I don't think many of them are actually scary technically, but for me it's just been for nostalgia. It's been literally movies I've watched since I was probably 4 or 5 years old. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're going to start off with Romero's classic, Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, yeah.
Now, granted, I tend to watch Romero's, and then I tend to watch the remake by Tom Savini, back to back.
Yeah,
I know,
remember that.
But it's just what I do. I think the movie's great.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie.
You know, there's really nothing I can say bad about it. First time I saw it, thought it was incredible. There's these people trapped in a farmhouse and zombies all around. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh... something simple, but yet so effective.
Yeah.
You know, and even though, growing up, a lot of people are black and white, it doesn't do much. It was the concept of it that really made it good. And then when Tom Savini did the remake, it was just, as a kid again, I was just like, whoa, there's these things in color now walking around.
Yeah.
So, definitely one of my top 5 movies to watch during the Halloween season is Night of the Living Dead. Either the original or the remake. Yeah.
So it's kind of funny when we were making these lists. They're pretty much the exact same list when it first came out. We watched all the same movies. So basically, both of our lists are it's our top 10 movies, basically. But yeah, so the first one I have is Dawn of the Dead, the original.
Amazing movie.
Probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
One of the top 3 favorite movies?
Yeah, I definitely grew up with it. It's just I think I love it so much because I love the Dead Rising game, and it reminded me so much of the Dead Rising game, and it was just, I don't know, it was just awesome. It's always been one of my favorite movies, Dawn of the Dead. It's one of the first things I watched on Halloween.
See, that was the thing. Dawn of the Dead, again, one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time. I don't always watch it on Halloween, but just that concept of being, again, back to seeing it. I first saw it, I was a kid, stuck in a mall with zombie apocalypse going on.
Yeah.
What would you do? Woo! And ever since then, I loved it.
Yeah, I could watch that movie just countless times and love it, right?
Yeah. Even though a lot of people now think, the way the zombies look or whatever.
That's whatever.
Oh, we got blue skin, this and that. Who cares? The movie's gory as hell.
Yeah,
when they're tearing apart the bikers.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. When the zombie steps up on top of the thing and the helicopter propeller cuts its head off. Genius.
Yeah.
So, I agree with you on that one, too. It's just, as for a Halloween movie... I would tend to watch it, but I don't watch it every year on Halloween, but I do watch it quite a bit. My second movie, though, it's a classic. Straight up, it's a classic.
Okay.
And even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the remakes that they did, I think that Tobe Hooper literally just made such a great movie. And just the whole concept, premise, everything, a terrifying Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
Oh yeah, okay.
I mean, it made some of my favorite franchises afterwards of movies. Like, it spawned, which is a really weird comparison. It spawned Ridley Scott to make Aliens, which was Texas Chainsaw in space. But there's just something about Texas Chainsaw, like this cannibalistic family that's just insane because they're cannibals regardless, but this guy who dons your skin as his face and chases you around with a chainsaw, and a chainsaw is a terrifying weapon in most horror movies anyways, just the sound of it.
Yeah, definitely.
But
the way he wields it, his grunting and screaming,
and
just terrifying, menacing look of him, right?
Yeah, and even at the end of the movie when she gets on the back of the truck and he's running, chasing it, it's just such a great movie.
Yeah, I think Leatherface has become an icon. He's in countless other video game series and movies, and different types of media.
Well, that's the thing though. Like, I didn't not like the remakes. I didn't. They were good for what they were.
Yeah.
But for me, it was literally just that original character of Leatherface was just so pure evil.
Yeah.
Like the first time you actually see him, like the first scene when you actually see him, it is just a pure face of evil.
Yeah.
And it's just it blew my mind as a kid, you know. And then they spawned Texas Chainsaw 2, which was I considered more of a comedy movie.
Yeah, it wasn't the same. Yeah. But it was still a good movie.
It was good. And then the third one, Leatherface, which again it's nothing near the original, but the original Texas Chainsaw will always have a place on all of my lists for top horror movies and movies that I watch around Halloween.
Yeah. So my second movie that I chose is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's just a cute, funny movie. It's just so stupid. It's lighthearted. It's one of those nice, funny movies, the family comedy. I remember when I was younger, I thought I was terrified of this movie, but it was actually Camp Blood that I was terrified of.
Yeah.
And I remember you putting Camp Blood when I was probably 6, 7 years old, probably maybe 8.
7 or 8.
On every TV in the house, going under my bed at like 3 a.m. and just shaking my bed and screaming and scaring the hell out of me as revenge for me shooting you with G.I. Joe darts.
Yes.
But that's not Killer Clowns from Outer Space. That was Camp Blood. I thought that was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is just a really stupid movie.
Alien
general
clowns.
idea, yeah, it's alien clowns that come down. They're eating humans. They got cotton candy guns.
They drink
them. Yeah, they wrap them up in cotton candy and drink them.
Yes.
And yeah, they got cotton candy guns and killer popcorn, and it's one of those movies, right? You got the baby clown who goes over to the bikers.
Yep.
It's probably one of my favorite scenes. If you haven't seen the movie, definitely watch it. If you have seen it, you know why I want you to watch it. It's amazing.
It is. It's a very fun movie to watch. It's literally just a fun movie.
Yeah, it's just so much fun.
Yeah.
So, knowing you, I know Halloween has to be on this list.
Yeah. How can you not put Halloween on the Halloween list of Halloween movies you watch? Literally.
Yeah. I would say just Halloween marathon, right?
Yeah,
that's what I usually do.
I tend to do that, but I tend to watch the original Halloween usually a couple times in October. Whether it's just so
watching
happens,
it, right? Yeah.
Someone will be at home watching it, I'll be sitting down watching it, or I'll put it on because I don't know what else I want to watch. Yeah, definitely. I mean, John Carpenter was a genius making Michael Myers. Something so simple is yet so terrifying to a lot of people. Even if not terrified by Michael Myers, the concept of alone.
Yeah, definitely.
Is a scary scenario itself. These Masters of Horrors come out and it's just like, boom. And there's this guy wearing black with a white mask and a knife. That's all. No real special effects. And there's enough to literally catch you. And... a lot of people don't like a lot of the Halloween movies, as you go 4 and 5 and 6. I like them all.
3 versions of the Halloween story, isn't there? There's the original Rob Zombies, and then
That's it.
I believe wasn't there a new one that came out though?
No, it takes place after.
It takes place after.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Halloween. It's just it's Halloween.
That's what I mean. I like the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. I thought they were really good movies, but John Carpenter's original Halloween.
Phenomenal, right?
It's an amazing movie that, there's a reason why people still watch
classic,
it.
Right? I have a Michael Myers mask in my room, right?
Yep.
Like, it's in other games. It's in Dead by Daylight. It's in everywhere, all sorts of types of media, right? It's an icon. It's a horror icon.
And it's one of those movies where, again, you have this character that is, again, iconic and something so simple.
Yeah.
But look what spawned out of that. Other 80s and 90s movies come out that kind of people donning masks like that, but he is the original, in my opinion, scary serial killer
definitely.
Franchise that sparked off a lot of other ones. I mean, you have Psycho and all these ones too that go with it, but for me, Halloween is definitely probably my number 1 movie I watch on Halloween, but I think that's a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I feel like you have to watch Halloween on Halloween, right? Anyways, one of my movies Evil Dead. Well, all of the Evil Dead movies and the new show. Not new, a bit more recent though. It's not scary.
No.
Right? It's funny. It's like that's the kind of stuff I like about Halloween. I do like horror. I love horror. I love being scared. But something about Halloween makes me want to put on the cheesy movies, the funny movies.
I personally think there is no better actor than Bruce Campbell at hurting himself.
Yeah.
You know, in Evil Dead 2, when he's beating himself with the plates, cuts his own hand off, it's amazing. Like, people have tried, no. He is the original on that too, and I love Evil Dead movies, you know this already. I think I've already said it's there again, going back to Dawn of the Dead style, it's one of my top 3 favorite movies of all time, Evil Dead 2. As for the remake, I like the remake. I just wish it wasn't called Evil Dead. I wish it was something different, because Evil Dead to me is Ash, Bruce Campbell, and with him not in it or his character not represented as Ash, basically, like that, kind of ruined it for me. But I think Evil Dead remake was great.
Yeah,
I think something different.
As far as I've seen every Evil Dead piece of film, movie, TV, I enjoy it all. Right, it's all really good.
Yeah.
Right. Something I grew up with, of course. It's the perfect kind of thing to watch for Halloween, right?
I think so. I mean, the first one in itself is, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
The first Evil Dead is just a great movie. You know, if they would have had a bigger budget back then, to make the effects a lot better, there's no saying where that movie would have went. But now it's a cult classic, and Sam Raimi, again, great at what he does.
Yeah,
Bruce Campbell, great at what he does. And now we have the Evil Dead series, and it's a great series, spawning off to the Ash vs. Evil Dead, which was good. I mean, I enjoy watching it, so... Yeah.
And as with a lot of the characters in a lot of these movies here, he's become an absolute icon. Right?
Oh, yeah.
You see him all over the place.
His shirts, everything. Boomstick. Wicked. A good movie.
A staple of horror.
Very much so.
So what's your next movie?
So my next movie, I don't really, again, consider it to be as a scary movie. But as a kid, it was one of those movies that it made me think a lot.
Okay.
And it's a Stephen King movie, which is weird, but it's Pet Sematary.
Oh, okay.
But it was scenes in the movie that actually, which is why I always kind of draw back to watching on Halloween, because, anybody will always say when Gage cuts the old guy's Achilles tendon, that's just creepy and painful looking. When her sister turns around and says, "You broke my back." As a kid, that was creepy as shit.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And just the concept of Pet Sematary, the atmosphere of Pet Sematary, I don't think it's a phenomenal movie by far, but I think there are scenes in that movie that
it's definitely
they always, again, back to coming October, like Halloween time, I always get the urge to watch that movie once or twice in October.
Yeah.
And I have no real attachment to the movie. Like, I really don't. But for some reason, like our list says, our favorite horror movies to watch during the Halloween season, it just seems to always pop up that way.
Yeah.
So that's why I put Pet Sematary on my list because, it's got those little creepy parts to it that stick with you.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. There's lots of really cool, creepy scenes in that movie.
Yeah, there just is when, the old guy's talking about his son and not coming back.
Yeah.
And it's just the way the cat Church looks when she's slowly decaying throughout it. It's, again, not one of my favorite movies, but for some reason, in October, I tend to watch it once or twice.
Yeah.
Right?
So my next movie, Nightmare Before Christmas. I wouldn't necessarily say it's only a Halloween movie. I watch it both Halloween and Christmas. I do really enjoy this movie. Of course, I grew up with it. Both my parents watched it. It's just a nice, cute family movie. Yeah.
I just don't know if it's Christmas or Halloween themed. That's for a different discussion.
Might have to get back to that in a different video. I don't even know where to start with that one.
We've had arguments in the office about this one.
But yeah, definitely a movie you should watch, both Halloween and Christmas, in my opinion. It's a great movie. It's a family movie. It's a fun movie.
I mean, Jack Skellington's kind of that Halloween icon too. Now you obviously decorations with Oogie Boogie and all them.
Definitely.
I just don't know if I would consider it a Halloween horror movie because it's not a horror movie at all. But I mean, I know a lot of people that literally they watch it both seasons as well. It's like half of them are like, oh, Halloween, we have to watch this. Oh, Christmas, we have to watch this. So
yeah, it's a gray area.
It is. You know. Well, my last movie is definitely a classic.
Okay.
A lot of people consider it one of the scariest movies ever made. But there's like a lot of things that happen like behind the scenes with this, everything like that. Like there's lots to read about if you're ever interested in it. But it's The Exorcist.
Okay, yeah.
Straight up legit, it's a good movie. Even though it's 40 years old now, 40 something years old, it's still a good movie.
Yeah.
It captures that fear, everything about it. The visuals are still good, and it's just creepy.
Yeah. It's one of those movies I feel like everybody has to know about this movie, even if you're absolutely opposed to horror or anything like that. You know this movie, right?
And if you haven't seen it, it's one of those ones where you kind of just have to see it.
Yeah.
Like it really has that kind of effect on it. Like it's an iconic movie of the horror genre.
Yeah, it really is.
Again, it's not one of my favorite movies of all time, obviously, but it's one of those ones when I first saw it, and like the scenes where everybody knows the exact scenes that you've seen in the movie, where she spins her head for the first time, where she comes down the stairs, all these things. It's memorable.
Yeah.
And again, it's one of those ones where for some reason in October, it's like, oh, okay, I will watch The Exorcist this night, and I watch it. My wife hates it. I don't care. I watch it. She watches it and cringes because she doesn't like horror movies. But, again, we always tend to watch it through and through in October. And it's always the same reaction. It's like, you know what? I'm happy I watched it again.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't put it on throughout the year with everything else there is to watch. It's just something with certain movies at the Halloween time. It's just you just want to watch them. It's very nostalgic in a way.
It is. I do like to watch Exorcist once in a while. Yeah. Not every year, but I do like to throw it on once in a while.
Well, we used to watch it when I was a kid all the time.
Yeah.
It used to always be around Halloween time, the same thing. My father used to always... And we had like a basement where we had our entertainment center set up, like the TV, the couch, the Lazy Boys, all that stuff was sitting down there. And my father loved horror movies, that. So that around Halloween time, it would always be the set ones, which is why I've said Pet Sematary is on there too. But it'd always be Texas Chainsaw, Pet Sematary, and Exorcist.
Yeah.
Those are always his ones. And he'd always have a Friday the 13th movie within the mix somewhere because he was a huge Jason fan. So kind of the nostalgia kicks in again, which is why I really enjoy watching The Exorcist, even though I've seen it probably 60 times. But it's still, it still captures you at times where it's like, that is just creepy.
Yeah, definitely. Right? So my last movie is Nightmare on Elm Street.
One of the best horror movies of all time.
Again, absolute icon of horror.
Definitely.
Everybody knows this movie. Everybody watches this movie. If you're into horror, Freddy Krueger is an amazing character. The idea of it.
The idea of him makes you hate him. But the idea of what he is makes you hate him. Yeah. But Robert Englund portrays this character so well that you end up loving the guy.
Yeah.
Talk about hypocrisy.
It's insane.
It is. Such a ruthless, cold person, but he's just portrayed so well that you want to see more of him.
And just some of the things, the wacky things that happen throughout the movie.
Oh yeah.
It's just it's cool, right? It's not necessarily creepy or scary. It can be sometimes.
Well,
but it's fun.
I think the first one Wes Craven went to do as an actual scary movie because it does have that, like when Tina's being thrown along the ceiling, being torn apart.
Yeah.
Like it's that he comes out of the wall like when Nancy's sleeping. I think the first one literally had the intentions of being straight out, let's make a horror movie. Yeah. But as it progressed, especially as number 3, Dream Warriors, which was a great movie, came around, that's where his comedic side started stepping in, right? Like, he's puppeteering the one guy and cuts him and then he falls over, dies. You got the girl that's a drug addict and he's got the fingers for needles. Like, I think that's where he kind of stapled in that, hey, we're just going to make this character just a loving character for horror fans.
Yeah.
And they really did a good job on it. Like, love or hate him, he still is one of the... You mentioned Freddy Krueger, everybody can name where he comes from. Exactly. Right? So, it's like... That's why, remember how they did Freddy versus Jason?
Yeah.
I just wish the movie was done better, but how many years...
it was a terrible movie, but...
It had its moments. I mean, the fight was good. I don't care what anybody says. Their fight at the end was great.
Yeah.
But who would win? They're both supernatural. Bring Freddy to the real world? Well, he's been to the real world before and survived.
Yeah.
Right? So...
Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street.
That is a great movie. That is a phenomenal movie.
So, these are both of our top 5 Halloween movies to watch throughout the Halloween season. Let us know what your favorite Halloween movies are down in the comments, or let us know what you think about some of these movies, if some of these are your favorite.
Yeah, because there are so many more too. I mean, we could have put on these lists easily.
I could have.
It 1, It 2, like...
I could have made a 50 movie list.
Movies. Oh, 100%. Definitely.
There's so much there. Horror is such a wide genre, and there's so much good film there. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.
See ya.